Let's talk today about additional streams of income. This is important because the only way to make money, other than, it falling out of the tree and you manifesting it through the lottery or something else, which still involves a little bit of effort, is to either cut expenses, to create other opportunities to make more money or to earn more money, and to optimize your expenses or the way that you relate to money, okay? And so today I wanted to talk about creating additional income streams. I'm going to focus in on the few that I can relate to more, and I don't want to make this video too long, but what I do want to say to you is that getting a larger slice of life, which I'm always talking about, is about having more bandwidth. Think of it like this. In order for you to surf the internet, you have to have a certain amount of bandwidth to do that comfortably, right? It's no different than there was a time where we had modems, and then we had dial-up, and then we had these networking cables. And all of that became obsolete because it was a less effective way to surf the internet, and it was very slow. And if you had Wi-Fi, but you went to your grandmother's house and she was still on dial-up or 56K modem, you would be very frustrated at the download time for the pages just to do the basic things. Forget about trying to download something or to even pay a bill online. You'd be lucky if you could get a page to download in less than 3 minutes. So life, in order to navigate life with ease, in order to really be able to show up big, in order to be your best self, you need bandwidth and money. And being able to navigate the world of finances is what provides some of that bandwidth. Now, it is not the end all be all. I'd be the last person to talk to you about that. But what I do believe firmly is that money allows you to be more of who you already are, okay? So if you're a jerk, money's going to make you a bigger jerk. If you're a giver and you're charitable, then money's going to allow you to do more philanthropy. So by the same token, when you are squeezed or when you have a relationship with money that doesn't allow it to flow in and out of your life the way it needs to, it's important to shine the light of awareness on that so that you can get a better handle on your finances so that you can get a bigger slice of life. So as we talk about creating additional income streams today, I want you to just bear in mind that it's just another way that you can be more of who you already are. So the first and the easiest way that we can create another income stream is to just pick up a side hustle, pick up another job. Okay, not a side hustle. Let's call it another job. Some moonlighting. This is where you get a job somewhere else. Maybe you decide to work at a restaurant and wait tables. Waiting tables allows you to get good tips. In some restaurants, you can make $700, $800, $900 a shift and more, depending upon what kind of restaurant it is and in what city you're doing it in. It just is a way for you to bring in more money using someone else's resources, but putting in your time and effort. Any other job also foots the bill. You add that to what it is you're already doing, and maybe you just are doing it during a certain period of time, 3 months, 6 months, just to get what it is you need, whether it's more money towards your emergency fund, or maybe it's to help you pay down some credit card debt, but it's definitely worth it. The second way is to just start a traditional business. Your traditional business may start out as a side hustle. And then it may become something that becomes more scalable. And then it may get to a point to where you don't even have to be there. Let's take the school that I opened up over 15 years ago. I guess it's been maybe 18 years. I ran my school for 15 years. I started my school when I was working as a full-time teacher. So I was already preoccupied 5 days during the week from the morning time until school was out, which was about 4:30. I would get in there by 5 o'clock from 5 to 7. During the week, I would have classes 2 nights during the week, and then I operated 2 days every weekend, which is, we only have 2 days, Saturdays and Sundays, for the better part of the morning and some of the afternoon. And so I was working 7 days a week. But very quickly, my little business grew, and by March, I was breaking my teaching contract and I was running my own school. But the point is, I did that. It started out as a side hustle. And then it grew into something where I couldn't keep working 7 days a week, and it was secure enough, and I had identified my niche population enough. I was working with parents who had their kids in religious programs all during the week, and they needed regular education to fulfill their requirements for their children to go to school, and I was there. So once I set up my school, the word traveled like wildfire until the point where it was no longer a part-time school. It was full-time, of course, Monday through Thursdays, because I got to choose my own hours, Monday through Thursdays, and it was my own private school, and I was functioning, and I had 58 students, and I was hiring teachers and doing all that good stuff. But when it was time for me to move to where I am today, rather than scale that and turn it into a franchise, which I could definitely have done, which is what I may need to do with my tutoring arm, which is another business that I have as well, I was just ready to move on, and it was a lot, and I was trying to do so many different things. And so I finally just had to let that go and close my school down and say goodbye to my students and my parents to move on to bigger things and different pursuits. But the point is, a traditional business can allow you to do a whole lot of different things. The third thing that you can do to create passive and residual income, or just another income stream, is to begin investing. Now, these are longer term solutions. The last two that I just discussed with you are longer term solutions, but they're definitely viable. By investing in stocks and bonds, forex and cryptocurrency, or whatever else it is that you decide to invest in, you create a passive and residual income stream, which means you make money while you sleep. You don't have to be in a particular place. You don't have to sign in. You can go anywhere in the world. As long as you have a computer, you can monitor that aspect of your income stream. So that's something that is very possible, and it's so easy to invest today. There's so many apps that allow you to channel money into an investments and just do so much. Coinbase is a wonderful one for cryptocurrency. Stash is a wonderful one. Robinhood is another one. Acorn. These are all wonderful apps. I'll make sure that I put them in the post. But the other thing that you can do is affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing just allows you to give space on your web page or in posts that you may be doing online or anything else for ad space, or a link that allows people who follow you and whose purchases you influence, or whose minds you influence, and people that you trust you to be able to click on a link and have it take them to another product or service that someone else buys. It's almost like a commission. So that's another way. But then again, you need to already be set up online. You need to already have a channel for doing that. Franchising, the same thing. You can set up a franchise. Typically today, it takes anywhere from $100,000 to even up to a few $1,000,000 to open a franchise like a McDonald's or Baskin Robbins or Dunkin' Donuts. But these are just other ways that if you have good credit and you can get financed, or you're able to take money and move money around in order to make the money work for you, then that's just another option that you actually have. The one that I relate to mostly is intellectual property. Taking your intellectual property and using it to make money. And one of the ways that I've been able to do that effectively is through the writing of my book and also my online school. I have courses on more than just my own personal platform with Paradigm Academy. But the idea here is, once I create that courseware and it goes up, I have very little to do with it. The coursework is complete. So essentially, anything else that I may do in terms of reaching out or community, building a community on Facebook or anything like that, those are things that I do already as a part of the other things that I'm involved in with regard to my marketing of my services and putting myself out there and running my channels and things like Patreon. And so it doesn't take any time from me. I create that course. You can create a course in as little as a weekend. I mean, literally a 5-hour course with over 40 videos, short videos, in less than a weekend. Or you can drag it out. But the point is, once it's done and you post it and you take the time to create some ancillary supplemental materials like worksheets and workbooks and links and different things, links to different resources and whatever else you might create in terms of PDFs or things to encourage your students, like quizzes. Once you do that, you're pretty much done. All you have to do is marketing or have a marketing platform and have that out there. The same is true with your book. There's so many things that you have up here that if you were to package them, you could actually make money off of them. And that's kind of the stuff we want to talk about. Next, we have network marketing. Network marketing is something you're familiar with, whether it's Amway, one of those other multi-level marketing schemas. The idea here is that you are, through a process of networking, you are Wealth Builders I think will be an example. That's another network marketing type of situation where once you bring other people in, you make money off of the people that you bring in, and then those people make money, and so forth and so on. Another thing that you can do is to create a product. This is one of my favorites. There's always something you can create. You may create a curriculum and market it to people. You may create, for example, let's take the hair serum that women on my channel have asked me about for over a year and a half, and I turned that down, but I did decide to go ahead and look into my anti-aging serum and my acne serum, and those have been wonderful ways, and I've yet to even really begin to push those. Honestly, if orders came in any faster, I just wouldn't really have the time right now to dedicate to it without being like going under and barely trying to tread water with my other responsibilities. But it was something that creatively came to my mind in the midst of the beginning of the coronavirus. I said, it's time to maybe perhaps get creative, because you just don't know what you're going to be faced with. And lo and behold, that's something I will certainly continue beyond this, and I will certainly find effective ways to market it because it works. So you have a product in you. You have a course in you. There is something that you do that nobody else does as well as you do, and you need to begin looking at how you can convert that into money. I'll give you another great example. Like when I identified my niche with the school, I have a friend who knows, well, we both did at the time, but a lot of people who are in the immigrant community who come to this country and need help with their paperwork in order to file for citizenship, or in order to file for their income taxes, or in order to file for their green cards, and they need help. So what did this friend of mine begin to do? Just to start marketing to them. And generally, when you work with pockets of groups of people that have cultural glue, once you do things for one person, they tell everybody else, and you'd be surprised. So in no time, it was an overwhelming situation. There were so many people to help and so much paperwork. But if you think about it, within a couple of hours of putting time into doing something, you can make a few $100s. And this is just a side gig. So always keep in mind, creativity, a creative mind, a high vibrational mind is what allows you to have the kinds of ideas that bring solutions to whatever it is that you might be facing, whether it's trying to pay off your debt, whether it's trying to save more, whether it's trying to have more discretionary income in your budget so that you can enjoy a larger slice of life. So it's really important to sit down and look at, what are some creative ways that I can generate some extra money, if not generate more money from a passive or residual income stream? Maybe the income stream is half passive. Maybe it's something else that you do where money comes in, but you still have to do a little bit of monitoring. You still have to do a little bit of work, or that sort of thing. There are just countless ways that, if you're willing to be open to creating another stream of income, that you can actually make it happen. And look at it in terms of, you don't really have to leverage your time as much as you think. A lot of people who work a 9-to-5 job, and this is something I say because as a solopreneur, solopreneurs are just built and wired to look at opportunities, because we're hunters, right? We have to hunt for our meals. We don't have the luxury of going to Mr. Charlie and getting a paycheck. So we tend to be more creative and unconventional anyway. We tend to be more nonconformist, just as a general rule. But if you're sitting and you're thinking, okay, well, I work 8 hours a day. After that, I'm so exhausted. I promise you that once you have a side gig that's bringing in extra money, I promise you won't be tired anymore. You will have something else to throw your passion into that feels good, that inspires you. Oftentimes, what makes people so tired is that they're doing things that they don't really enjoy. They're going places to be with people who they don't really like, and they're having to be around people who they don't want to be around. So the more that you eliminate that, the more you give energy to do other things. So consider moonlighting, consider your intellectual property and how you can package it. Look at the products and the things that you could probably sell and make extra money from that you've never thought about, and you are well on your way to creating another stream of income. You with Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations, helping you to gain clarity, to up-level your mindset, to move blockages out of your way that are keeping you from manifesting the glory of God that is within you. I'll see you next time. I hope that you enjoy this video.